This live is broadcasted. Okay. Yep, it's working.
Yay!
Awesome. Yes. Okay. So anybody who can see this, go ahead and comment. We've been having technical issues for about 45 minutes. So, Jessica, I think they have to click on something in order to put their name down as we did before for them to chat with us.
Let me get the link here. I'm going to post it in the chat here so everyone has access to it.
Okay.
There you go.
So just click on that link, everyone, if you're wanting to chat. We are going to do a spiritual awakening question and answer tonight. And so what that means is if you are going through a spiritual awakening and you have questions about what is right, what is wrong, what feels different lately, if you're having dreams, if you're having energy difficulties with your chakras, and so we're just going to go through some of that tonight for free. We are asking that for future lives that we can do donations as well if you would like. And that is all just up to you, whatever you want to send. We'll be doing the free question and answer every other Saturday and every other Tuesday. So we're going to start off by asking intuitive guide Jessica what she does, what her expertise is, and how she can help everyone.
So, hi, I'm intuitive guide Jessica. I am a tarot and oracle card reader. I am also a Reiki master practitioner, energy healer. I also offer spiritual advising. And if you book with me after this live, you get 20% off all of my services.
Awesome. And then go ahead, Sammy. Go ahead and tell everybody what you do, what your expertise is, and how you can help people.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sammy P. So I'm a tarot reader. That's my calling. I love doing tarot readings. I read oracles. And my favorite thing is just helping people kind of discover different paths in their lives, which paths to take that's going to lead to the best outcome. And right now, I'm doing a new thing where I'm doing aura portraits, where you can send me your picture and I draw you with all your beautiful colors so you can see it too. And then I do a reading about all the colors and kind of what they mean. And check me out on my Facebook page. I go live. And we can do some readings and talk about what kind of guidance we can do.
Jessica, do you want to put those banners underneath?
Yep. Oh, hey, the comments are appearing now.
Are they? Perfect.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to look for all that. So this one is Sammy's.
So we are not doing readings tonight. We are just doing spiritual awakening questions. So if you have a question about your awakening process, if you've seen spirit, if you have a question about tarot cards, if you have a question about what chakras are, just go ahead and ask those questions now. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Versa. Hi, Carol.
Hey, guys.
Okay, and so what I do, so it's on to me now. Can you put those banners up, Jess?
Yep.
Okay. So we're just gonna have the banners say, a couple little things about us. Right now, I am doing a spiritual boot camp. It's twice a month. It's gonna be online. It's gonna teach you what chakras are. It's gonna also teach you a little bit about healing, what Reiki is. how energy healing can impact your life in a great way. And I also am doing a candle magic class on the 24th of April. And that one I'm also going to either do online or in person, depending on where you live. That's on April 24th at 5 p.m. I am also a psychic medium. I do readings. I do classes for spiritual awakening. I also do trauma therapy. So if you're dealing with a lot of childhood trauma, I do the spiritual aspect of that trauma to help you heal from it. I also do tapping for trauma. And then I also do a lot of different kinds of readings. I do love readings. I do aura readings. I do all kinds of different readings. And so if you're looking for somebody that does a lot of different things to help you heal, I'm your person. I am doing a percentage off for tonight. You get 20% off of all readings and 20% off all classes if you mention this live. So let's take a look at the chat here. Raquel. Yeah, and I help you. It's a 4-month course, and I meet with you once a week with the Spiritual Awakening self-healing class. It's one-on-one, so it's not a whole bunch of other people listening in with that course. I do video chat for the people who don't live here, and then the one-on-ones I do at my local office. Hi, Tina. So for those of you that are just joining, we are just doing Spiritual Awakening questions tonight. So if you are looking for a reading, we're not doing readings tonight. What we're doing tonight is a little bit different, just to kind of help those of you who are going through a spiritual awakening. Those of you that have questions about what chakras are, those of you that have questions about dreams or spirit, go ahead and ask those questions now. We also have a really good tarot card reader, well, 2 really good tarot card readers, Intuitive Guide Jessica and Sammy. Those are their expertises. I do them as well, but those 2 are really into it a lot more than I am. I'm more so with the psychic medium part of me. So if you have tarot questions, let's say, you got a tarot deck and you're not sure what to do with them, go ahead and ask that question now.
Somebody is asking, what is a spiritual awakening? I can post their comment up if you want to see it.
Yeah, that would be perfect. That will help everybody who's looking. Yep. So a spiritual awakening it's kind of like you go through your entire life kind of doing what others tell you to do, what others tell you to say. You punch a clock at work from 8 to 5, you go home, you do the same exact thing every single day. And you're just kind of living in the kind of like this robotic phase of your life. You're not really doing much. You're feeling unhappy. You're feeling depressed. And then all of a sudden, some kind of trauma happens in your life. And you start kind of diving deep into what your personal needs are. You start having dreams, maybe some deja vu. You start getting pressure on the top of your head. You start kind of feeling like there's something different. Maybe there's more to life than just a time clock at work or, having the same kind of routine every day. And then suddenly you start kind of feeling energies around you. You become more sensitive to people's energies. And then suddenly after that, you start feeling spirit. Maybe you're hearing spirit. And that's a spiritual awakening. So you gradually start awakening. Your chakras start opening up. And you can see, hear, and feel spirit. You can see, hear, and feel like your premonitions, what's going to happen next, what's happening in the world. It's basically your intuition times 10. So Suddenly it just feels like the bottle cap just flew off and the whole world is different than what you originally had thought it was. And that's a spiritual awakening. Some people, because they don't know much about it, they're like, oh my God, I'm going crazy. you know, my whole entire family, they think I'm crazy. Now I'm seeing a psychiatrist. They're doping me up. And it's because when we go through a spiritual awakening, our society has always told us to shut down. Our society has always told us to fear spirit, to fear the unknown, to fear energy, to fear even angels in some religions. And when you go through an awakening, if you're not around people that support that awakening, you will feel isolated, number one. You'll have anxiety, number two. You'll go through a massive depression, number three. And then you'll just start feeling sick. Like before I completely awakened, I had a massive depression. Because I had shut down. I was in kind of a toxic relationship, not kind of, it was. And I was in this toxic relationship and I just shut down. Like my abilities, everything was, I was told I was crazy. I was told, you know, not to use those abilities. And as I shut down, I ended up with major panic attacks. I couldn't get out of bed. It manifested itself as severe pain in my body. It manifests itself as major depression episodes. And then as I got out of that relationship, I found myself awakening to spirit again for the third time in my life. And that was when I started this business. That was when I decided I needed to tell the entire freaking world that you're not freaking crazy, that there is other dimensions out there. There is spirit out there. There is different energies out there. It's not just us. We all know we're not alone. And, you know, it's time for people to start awakening even more so, especially in the times that we are in now with the whole pandemic. We need to support each other. I'm going to get off my soapbox.
Turn that off, Eddie.
Let me read the comments here. Jennifer, we are talking about spiritual awakening. Hi, Matt. So how can you put his, that's what a friend of mine, can you put his comment up for me so I can see it better?
It's up.
Still really tiny. It says, so how can you control the spiritual awakening, but dealing with the same mundane life? Waiting for that change, but need to control it while waiting because it takes time for the change. Yes. So when you're still having, and this is what I call third dimensional things, you're having to pay the bills. You're having to go out there and go to work. You're having to, let's say, be in a relationship. You're having to take care of the kids. You're having to buy the things that you need for the home. Those are all third dimensional things that we have to do. No matter if we're awakened or not, we still have to get them done in order to survive. But in the meantime, you can still nurture that spiritual aspect of yourself. And the way that you do that is by meditation, by writing down your thoughts, by just simply, like if you're in a car and you're driving and you're getting all this anxiety building up in you, you don't know where it's coming from. That's your awakening trying to come through. That's your chakras trying to open. And so just take a few minutes, close your eyes, turn on some music. And I know I told you to stop with that heavy metal crap. Because when you listen to things that are like yelling and screaming, it lowers your vibration. If your vibration is lower, you attract things that you don't want in your life versus the things that you do want in your life. And so take some time, even if it's just 5 minutes a day, take some time to just close your eyes, turn on some theta music, THETA, and just listen to the music. Imagine that the music has colors to it. Imagine that you can feel the colors. Imagine you can smell the colors. Imagine that you are the colors. This is going to help you stay awakened while still doing the third dimensional things. And the other thing you can do is make time, like every day from, you know, like let's say everybody goes to bed at 10 p.m. in the house. At 10 p.m. every single day, you turn everything off except for some music and you just sit there with your thoughts. If you have traumas in your life, in your childhood, you want to just sit and allow them to run through you. This is how you heal. You sit, you can't push your traumas away. You can't shove them down. You can't run away from them. You just have to sit with them and allow them to heal. And so when you do that and you spend time every single day doing that, you will notice that you'll awaken more and more and more. And suddenly the depression goes away, the anxiety goes away, the insomnia, which I know you deal with, goes away. All of those things go away as you start nurturing that spiritual side of yourself. That's a really long answer to a short question. He's like, I expect that from you. I hope that answers your question. Okay, let's get to another one here.
Ooh, I see one, a good one. What is the best way to improve one's intuition or psychic ability?
Okay, Sam, do you feel comfortable answering that since I just answered two?
Yes. So the way I like to tap into my intuition and the abilities that I have of meditations. I love doing guided meditations. I love getting outside and connecting with the earth. When I feel grounded and I start feeling the energies around me, just really tapping into that frequency and then sending that up and out and connecting, because we are all connected. We are spiritually connected. And I believe once you really start practicing that connecting and feeling, getting how that feels, that intuition really starts kicking in. Never second guess yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If you have that feeling that something is telling you something, trust it, follow it, because you've got guides around you. You've got just this energy. We are all this frequency, this energy that's interconnected with everyone. And I think once you really start tapping into that and meditating more and connecting with that, the abilities, the intuition, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful because once you really tap in, and this is what I call the higher self, is once you go inwards, because everybody is always looking outwards for ways of healing. Like, if I take this pill, I will feel healed. If I drink alcohol, I'll feel calm. If I go running, I will feel the adrenaline, I'll feel better. If I go eat a whole bunch of food, I will feel better, comfort food. Everybody's always looking outwards for the answers when all the beautiful answers are literally in here. We all know the answers. We were given the answers before we even came here. And so all you have to do, and this is what I call the source stream, all you have to do is, like Sam said, meditate. Meditate, imagine like a white light coming from the top of the earth down to the top of your head, just filling your entire body with knowledge and love energy, and allow it to come through and heal you. This is how those miracles happen when you hear about people that have like stage 4 cancer and all of a sudden they're cured out of nowhere. It's because they decided they weren't ready to go. They decided through their source stream that they were ready to be healed. So they tapped into this beautiful source energy stream and they allowed it to come through and heal them. And of course, there's more to it than that, but just allowing that energy to come through you is what's going to help you the most. Jessica, do you have anything to say on that topic?
I pretty much agree with everything Sammy said about the meditation and visualizations and stuff, and just questioning the chatter in your mind in order to hear your higher self and your guides.
Mm-hmm.
Because like she says, we're all connected to source.
Right. We're all connected to source.
Mm-hmm. And to never question, never second guess, because when you start second guessing, that's when you start to make mistakes, I've noticed, instead of just going by your gut, what you feel.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, everybody always says, oh, I had this gut instinct not to get into that car today.
Right.
and I didn't listen to it, and then we had a car crash, and that it's that gut instinct, it's that inner higher self. We all know the answers. We don't need to go to a psychic, even though sometimes it can be helpful. We don't need to go anywhere. We just need to go inwards, because we all have those beautiful answers. Every single one of us has the ability to see the future. Every single one of us has the ability to do mediumship. Every single one of us has the ability to heal. It's just about us deciding that we're going to allow those abilities and our source energy to give us those abilities. That's it. All right, I'm going to go to the next question. Jessica, you want to pick one?
I'm not seeing anything pop up yet for questions.
Okay.
I'm still looking here. Yeah.
Oh, I love that quote, Jennifer. Whatever you cannot find within, you can find without.
Oh, I love that.
That's a really good quote. That's the first time I've actually heard it too. It's really good.
We are using StreamYard. We used it about a year ago, I think, Jess, to go live, so that there's more people on, because Facebook only allows for two people to be on at the same time, so it can kind of get a little more difficult for all of us to be on. And I got us all together because I want us all to share our gifts with you, not just me, not just Jessica, not just Sam. I want us all to be able to be together. Just like Stan said, we are all connected. Every single one of us is connected. We can all use our energy to help you. We all want to help you. That's what we're here for tonight. So if you have a question, and do not overthink your question. We sometimes do that. We're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna feel stupid if I ask this question, or I'm a little afraid of what people might think if I ask this question. This is a safe place. We are not here to judge you. We are here to help you. So just, whatever question comes to mind, it can be about tarot, energy, spirit, literally anything. And just go ahead and rapid fire those questions, and one of us will pick it up. And share this out too, because it looks like it's, did you ever get that link, Jess, to share it?
I can try posting a link, but I think that's just for people to join. I'm not really sure. I think people can just go and share it out. That's what I was doing from my page.
Let me
but
see
like,
if I can share it through my...
Yeah, because when I was in the group, I couldn't share it. When I was looking at our group, I couldn't share it out. Let me see here. I'll go on my phone. I think there is an option to post it into other ways through my phone.
Oh, I got it.
Really? I couldn't get it. Oh, actually, yeah.
All right, how about we go ahead and, Sam, I'm going to ask you a question. So what is the most scary part of your journey and the most exciting part of your journey?
I think the most scary part has to be, and it's really silly. I shouldn't care, but the way outside people looking in, like, what do they think about what I do? I think that was the scariest part of, like, actually getting online and putting it out there that I do this. And it's really silly because I shouldn't care. But that and all the emotions pop up It's crazy going through an awakening and having you have to look at yourself and do the shadow work. That's scary. Um, Realizing why you feel the way you feel. Why do triggers set you off? Looking at all those little pieces at why these feelings come up. Um, that has to be one of the hardest parts and scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember
Just
with my own spiritual awakening, like I can definitely see, you know, like it was pretty much the same way with me. I come from a very Catholic family. And so, you know, they look at this kind of work as, oh, you're a witch, or, you know, that's scary, you're playing with the devil, or, you know, that kind of stuff. Like that's how they grew up believing, and that's how the churches taught them to believe. And so it was really difficult in the beginning because I just did it with me and Jess. That's how we started out, just me and Jess.
Yep.
We were doing our lives together. We just did it, you know, nationwide rather than locally. And then it was actually my hairstylist who told me, she was like, you know, and I finally opened up to her and I said, okay, this is what's going on. Like I've had these gifts. I've awakened. I'm using them online. I've already started my own business. And she's like, Kristen, how come you don't do this locally? And I was like, because I don't think people in North Dakota would get it. Like, I don't think people in North Dakota would understand what I do. Like, I feel like they would really judge me, you know? And I remember the very first time I opened up in North Dakota, there were some comments, but it was mostly good. Like, all of a sudden, I had all these spiritual people wrapping their arms around me, going, you know, we accept you. We believe in you. We want to help you succeed. And that was the first time in my entire life that I actually felt like I belonged. Like I actually felt like this is what I'm meant to do. This is the journey that Spirit wants me to go down. This is my calling, just like all of us. Like this is our calling to help those who are going through the same thing to awaken. And what's the best part, do you think, Sammy, of your awakening?
best part is the way that I can now connect with people and help them too. Like each reading I do is so much more than just a reading, because not only am I helping them, but it's kind of shining a light on the little parts of my life too, and it just enhances everything. It really does. So I love being able to connect with people and help them work on things, and by doing that, I get help too. Like it helps me a lot.
Yeah, I've noticed that with my life too. Like when I first started this, you know, I was still going through that breakup. I was still trying to get over all of that stuff. And as I took on clients, as I was helping them through it, I noticed, you know, I have all this beautiful advice and I've been through all these classes. I have my social work degree, my counseling degree. I have all these things. And then as I'm talking to them about how to heal, I suddenly go, oh my gosh, that helps me too. Like now something is awakening inside me, because it's like, not only am I helping that person, but I'm actually helping myself as well. And I think that that's the spiritual connection. Like you said before, we're all connected and it's so freaking beautiful. It's like, there's a reason I have the clients that I have. There's a reason you guys have the clients that you have, because it's a mirror image of whatever we need to see to grow. Literally. It's literally, and I say beautiful a lot, but it's beautiful. It really is.
I was going to say, and one thing I learned too, like if something is triggering you or talking to somebody and that person is triggering you a lot, I've learned that maybe there's some shadow work to be done if that's triggering you. I've kind of learned that and picked that up too. Right. It's almost like they're a mirror of what you need to work on.
Right. Like, it's like, okay, so not too long ago, someone came to me and they were in a really abusive relationship. And there was a lot of things that this lady was saying that I remember that I went through specifically. And suddenly, like, I started kind of feeling like a little bit of that tightness in my chest. And I was going, ooh, okay. So that's the part that I need to still work on. It's basically like the universe shows you what you need to heal from. And that's how the universe shows you in those little signs, like in that person. Okay, if that triggers you even a little bit, that means you have to work on that shadow work. That means that and because we all, even as spiritual advisors, we still need to learn. We still need to grow. We still are healing. Healing is a process. It will never end, but it will continue to grow, and it will continue to flourish, and it will continue to amaze the shit out of you.
Like Jennifer says right here. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. Okay. Jennifer was saying, just like giving Reiki to one person also gives you Reiki at the same time. That is true. It's not only healing for the person you're giving it to, but it's also healing for yourself. That's all I was going to say. Sorry, Sammy, go ahead.
Well,
Sammy's like, what?
I was still trying to share a few places.
That's
Sorry.
okay.
No, you're good.
Hi, Brittany. Hi, Steve. So as you come on, go ahead and say hi. If we can't see your comments, the reason we can't see your comments is because you got to click the link and verify to get in. So go ahead and just say, basically what we're doing tonight is we're doing spiritual awakening question and answer if you're just joining us now. So we are just talking today about the spiritual awakening process. So how does it feel to awaken? Do you have support? So let me ask everyone who's on tonight, do you have support with your spiritual awakening? Do you have one person in your life that helps you through the spiritual awakening process? Somebody needs to get blocked.
They went bye-bye.
Oh, that's funny. At least it made us laugh, right? Hi, Erica. Hi, Vivian. How are you? Hi, other Erica, friend Erica.
Other Erica.
Erica. It's Erica night.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Erica and Erica.
That's amazing. So many people have support with their spiritual journey. Everyone's on here saying, I do. And that makes me so happy. Like, I found a group of great people, and we're constantly with one another, and it helps so much when people have that support around them.
It is. And I know, like, for me, I didn't have any support. Like, I'm gonna be very blunt. Like, I had nobody in my life going, oh, you can do this, Kristen, or, I'm gonna support you through this process. I didn't have anybody like that until I met Jess. And it was like, we instantly connected, because it was like with me and Jess, like, she understood where I was coming from. I understood where she was coming from. And, this was like 4 years ago, right, Jess?
And it was by chance that you and I just both happened to meet. It was just so random.
Yeah, and we still haven't met in person.
Not yet.
Someday, though. But yeah, I mean, it really does help. Like, the first 3 years that I was going through the spiritual awakening process, I had nobody, and I just had to kind of figure it out. Like, why am I seeing the spirit standing in my bedroom? What the heck is going on? And, why is this all happening again? Like, I thought I pushed this away. And, You know, these were the gifts that I didn't want. And, you know, as I was moving through it, I was like, oh my God, this is actually beautiful. I can help people with this. I can help the other side talk to us. I can help the other side communicate with the people that they need to communicate with. And I can help the clients communicate with them. And once I kind of saw that I could be helpful in a different way rather than counseling, and you know, the one thing that I didn't like about the counseling aspect of I worked for the state for a long time, is there was a lot of red tape. It was like, you can and cannot say this. And if you say this, you're going to get written up, you know? And the one major thing that I couldn't talk about in counseling when I was counseling other people was spirituality. And what holds us together but our spirituality, our belief system, our faith system. If we don't have that, we're just out there going, well, what's the purpose of life, right? And so for me, when I was able to open up the spiritual aspect of myself, that's when I started to flourish. That's when I started to know that this was my life's purpose. And once you go through it, though, like, there's no going back. It's beautiful, but it can also just, you know, it can be bad in ways too, because you have to do your shadow work, right? So it can feel uncomfortable. It can feel like you're going crazy. But if you have the right support, you can get through it and you can see the beautiful side of it. So is there any other questions? I don't think I'm seeing all the comments.
That's what I was trying to bring up too.
And release. Yep. And release old mindsets. Yep. Yep. And Jess was just talking about how, you know, when you can't trust yourself, and, you know, society does, they teach us not to trust ourselves. They teach us to second guess ourselves, you know, like kind of like when you have tests in, you know, high school and grade school, and they give you like those multiple choice answers. And all of a sudden, like way when you're little, you're already starting to learn to second guess yourself. Is it A? Is it B? Is it C? But you always know that if you're using your intuition, you always get it right. Like you always say to yourself, oh my gosh, you know, I should have went with that one answer because it was correct. And it's because that's our intuition talking. That's our higher self that knows all the answers, all the freaking beautiful answers. And you just have to tap into that source energy and you'll know. There won't be any more second guessing. And to those of you that want to do this kind of work, my biggest advice to you is practice. Go into one of the groups and just practice. Don't worry about being right or wrong. Just practice. Just practice, practice, practice. The more that you practice, the more that you will be able to trust yourself, the more that you will be able to open yourself up to all your other gifts, the more that you can help people, the more that more people start talking about you and referring other people to you. And all of a sudden you find that you do, in fact, have all these beautiful gifts and you are, in fact, correct. That's how you do it.
And honestly, as it's mostly getting out of your own way. Kristen always has to drill that into me all the time. Like, get out of your own way. Easier said than done.
Yeah, like all the time. I'm just like, Jess, you know, okay, so one of the things that I will never forget is Jess gave me the most remarkable mediumship I've ever had in my freaking entire life. And this was when she was really working on herself. She was doing a lot of inner healing. And she was in a place of trusting herself and allowing her energy to come through. And that night, I think you went on for like an hour and a half. And every single detail was correct. It was as if she was sitting there physically with my grandfather, with everybody who had passed over, and was just telling me, hey, oh, he said this. Oh, he said that.
Right.
And I was just amazed. I was just like, wow, the massive amount of power that you have is just insane. And, and then we kind of go into that. The reason that we shut down is because we get around other people that don't believe in us, number one, are more third dimensional negative thinkers, number two. And we start focusing on the negative aspects of our lives instead of the positive. And then we can't connect with spirit, because spirit is high dimensional, high vibration. And if you're not in a high vibrational state, you can't connect.
Nope.
And so that's why Jess has, kind of struggled here and there, is because she's been through a lot the last couple years. And so her vibration goes down a little bit. And then once it gets back up there, she's like, boom, 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 boom. Like it's nothing.
It's just like a flood of information that basically comes through, like the floodgates were opened.
Yeah.
It's pretty safe.
It's beautiful. It really is.
That's why it's amazing sometimes people, how they kind of put their own blockages, like I said, you're in your own way. You need to get out of your own way, because like I said, as soon as I lift that, it's just all this information comes up.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I even surprise myself. I'm like, where did that come from?
Yeah, and that's your source energy. It's like, even if you're blocked all the way up, source energy will still try to come through and go, hey, listen here.
Right?
This is going to happen. Whether you block me or not, this shit's going to happen.
That's the thing. Then they just get more persistent at that point when you try to ignore.
Yeah. And then I always think it's funny when people are like, I'm just not connected. I'm like, I always tell people, you would be dead if you were not connected to your source energy. You'd be dead. Okay. The only thing that's happening when you can't connect is that you're blocking yourself. You're literally standing in your own way, is what's happening. It's not that you can't connect, because you can always connect. It's always there. It's never gone. It doesn't run away. It's always there. And all you have to do is just quiet the chatter in your mind, do some meditation, and just allow it to come through you. Imagine that beautiful white light just flowing through you. That's all you have to do. Okay, let me catch up with these comments here. Oh yeah, Matt, those meditations are freaking amazing. So I would do the theta music. Sorry, Jess.
No, go ahead, finish.
I would do the theta music, and then I would also do. There is a guy on YouTube. And he does it. His name is, it's under New Meditation. It's NU. So instead of new, it's NU and then meditation. And he's got like a whole bunch of them. And then Jason Stevenson as well on YouTube has a whole bunch of sleep meditations. I listen to them every single night to help me sleep. I can't sleep without them on. It was hard to get used to at first, but now I do it every single night. But you just pick the one you're drawn to. It doesn't have to be a certain one. You just go onto the playlist and you pick the one that you're drawn to. Listen to it for a few seconds. Feel if it feels good to you. If not, go to the next one. But there's a whole bunch of them on YouTube.
So there is someone that has a question. It was Erica. We're not really doing readings, but I can still try to address the question without giving a reading. Mm-hmm. She's wanting to know how her longtime boyfriend or soulmate, how does she know if he's always with her? Like, does he give signs, or like what should she look out for? So one thing I've noticed is that sometimes spirits like to move stuff. Things go missing, things disappear. You may find it someplace that you never stuck it. Sometimes you get goosebumps. That's how I know that usually I'm spot on with something, with connecting with something. Just like a weird goosebumpy feeling. It's really hard to explain. Sometimes you can get temperature changes. One thing that I try to do if I try to connect with like my grandma or something is I ask for a sign, like, can you show a sign that you're here with me right now? And then sometimes you'll get that sign. Mm-hmm. It might be subtle, but you will usually get a response. Mm-hmm. And like Brittany's saying, as spirit speaks through songs, sometimes you might see repeating numbers, synchronicities and stuff like that. And that's usually Spirit's way of trying to get messages across to you.
Mm-hmm.
I think we lost Sammy.
Yeah, it kind of goes in and out. She'll probably pop back up in a
She'll
few
be back.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions regarding tarot cards, chakras, spiritual awakening, anything? And you can also ask about dreams. I'm really a good dream interpreter. So if you have a question about a dream that you've been having, maybe it's a dream that kind of reoccurs for you, something that you're kind of getting stuck in, just let me know.
I was actually going to say, Erica, too, another thing that how I get messages is I get a lot of visitation in my dreams, like from my grandma or my grandpa who are no longer alive. They visit me, or I have memories come back in a dream, or maybe you'll just be watching TV and all of a sudden, boom, this random memory that you had with your boyfriend comes through. And that's usually just out of the blue. That's how you usually know, like, they're around or they're there. That's how I figured it out anyway. Here we go. Here's one. Journaling.
So actually, with dream recalling, journaling is really good. It's a really good tool, but there's also other things that you can do. What I started doing, because I've been having very, very vivid dreams about what's going to happen, what clients need what from me, and just kind of things that my daughter needs, family needs, stuff like that. What I started doing is I went onto YouTube and I started downloading all of the songs about like dream recall. And then there's some that have subliminal messages. There's some like deeper sleep kind of meditations that are on there. And then when I wake up in the morning, I'll literally sit there and I'll tap. And as I'm tapping, I'm just thinking and I'm closing my eyes and I'm taking a couple deep breaths. And I'm just sitting there and I don't do anything else. I'm not running to the bathroom right away in the morning. I'm not getting water. I'm not distracting myself. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm not checking my phone. I'm literally just sitting on the edge of my bed doing this. And I'm thinking about the dream. And the reason you do this is because it helps memory recall, because your emotional center is up here and your logical center is back here. And so if you tap, what happens is it switches from the emotional of, oh my God, I want to remember the dream. I have to remember this dream. How am I going to remember this dream? To getting back to that logical part where, yes, I can do this. I can remember this dream. And so as you're doing this, it helps put it into a logical perspective, gets rid of ego, gets rid of emotions, and all that's tied to it to help you recall that dream. And then as soon as you remember it, and it can start off as like something like, for some reason, I feel like there was the color yellow in my dream. Like there was yellow throughout the entire dream, to now I feel like I smell a perfume, to now I feel like, I kept seeing a barn or something like that. You're going to write it all down as soon as you're done with your little exercise. And then the next day, they'll give you more signs. And the next day, they'll give you more signs. This is how spirit works. And so what I always tell my clients is it's like a big old giant puzzle piece. And the spirit is just giving you little pieces to put in your puzzle. And as you're doing that, it will eventually show you the bigger picture of what they're wanting you to know. And it usually starts in our dreams.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Another question Brittany asks here is, where did it go? Oh, another good one for general knowledge is, why is it important to cleanse our energy?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't, you basically become a sponge and you absorb everything and you carry it around with you. That's why it's important to either shield and ground, and to cleanse.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want to carry that.
Yes.
Go ahead, Sammy.
I think especially when you do like what we do, we're connecting with people, it's like their energy almost gets stuck. you get these little cords and you get these little stuck pieces in your aura, and it starts to really block you. It starts blocking you from seeing signs you're supposed to see. I feel like it starts blocking you from using your energy to connect with others in a good way. And then it just starts bringing you down. It's like you get all this gunk on you, and it really starts bringing you down. So you definitely want to do that white light meditation, protect yourself. You definitely want to use things like sage and the sprays that I know Kristen offers, and crystals, I think, and clear that gunk off of you so you don't have this weighed down feeling and start getting all those emotions and feeling them yourself.
Or just having like a big, like
So I think
Kristen
it's
has
very
that.
important to clear.
Kristen has that big chunk of amethyst for sale is a perfect start for cleansing.
Oh yeah, because you can put
Sorry,
that
Sammy.
amethyst right by your bed, and especially if you're dealing with trying to recall dreams, amethyst opens up the crown chakra.
Oh,
The
yeah.
crown chakra is responsible, and the third eye is responsible for those dreams and that intuition and that connection. And so I have amethyst everywhere in my house. Literally everywhere. If you guys came over right now, you'd be like, why do you have so many crystals? Why do you have so many sprays? Why do you have so many sages and Palo Santos? And it's even in my car because I believe in cleansing yourself. And I know that crystals store negative energy in the middle of the stone. And so if you get things like the amethyst crystal, it's going to take the negative energy stored in the stone. You wash off that negative energy. I usually just run it under water, and then that stone helps to then put positive energy back into your system. And so, you know what? I'm just going to show you guys what it looks like.
Yes, because it's really pretty.
Okay. Can you guys see this? Let me get a flashlight here.
That's so pretty.
It's hard because this camera is like sideways. Yeah,
You're doing a good job.
This is a real big stone. This is super heavy. I have 3 of these big guys. And I have them right by my bed for dream recall. Can you guys see that okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a really good one. You can get the smaller stones as well. I like the big ones just because I have a lot of dreams. And I have a lot of energy, and I do a lot of energy work, so I need a lot of bigger stones.
Do you want me to show my selenite, Kristen, that I showed you a picture of?
Yeah.
So what I picked up at one of the spiritual shops is the selenite. I don't know if you can see it very well on the camera. It's just a big slab block.
Ooh, that's pretty.
I was drawn to it. So what I do is I just put my jewelry on it and just keep it in my room because you don't need to cleanse it or anything. You just set your jewelry on there and walk away.
Mm-hmm. I have something really. Now I have to show you. I feel like we're playing show and tell.
We're playing show and tell. It's okay.
I'm gonna have to clean this up later now. That's mine.
Ooh.
I got
Nice.
this one when I first started my spiritual awakening process. Can you see all those little, like you can see it's been pretty beat up. Yeah. So I put all my stones on there. I also have a selenite lamp in my bedroom that I put all my bracelets on. So yeah, you use those stones wisely. Use them for protection. Use them for cleansing. The selenote's good to charge your stones, to give them more energy, especially if you use them a lot. You need selenite to keep those stones charged. We lose Sam again.
Yeah. Someone had a dream interpretation question. It was, let me see if I can post it right here.
I had a dream. I walked out.
To put the garbage out in broad daylight, I looked up and saw 3 young men walking towards me, and one pulled out a gun and said, "I've been watching you," and shot me. I only had just drifted off, and when I woke up, my whole body vibrated. I had pins and needles from top to toe, and it felt so real I could describe the person who shot me and what they were wearing.
Mm-hmm. So this is a very clear example of the need to do shadow work. And so this is going to be a little bit more difficult. So this is why I teach this in my class. So what I'm talking about with shadow work is when we have scary dreams like that, it's not saying that that thing is going to happen to us. Can you take that off the screen?
Yep.
It's not that those things are going to happen to us. It's that there's a fear, and the fear that's building up inside of us, it's a trigger. The trigger came from childhood. Okay. So the trigger happened when we were like 3 or 4 or 5 years old, right? Maybe we don't remember it. Maybe we do. But the trigger happened in the present day, right? And it could be, let's say the fear with the COVID stuff, like somebody's going to die. Maybe it's the fear, like somebody recently died in your family. Maybe it's the fear of, your own health issues. But basically what this exact dream is that shadow work needs to be done. You need to dive deep into that. And I do this kind of work. So if you want to message me, I can help you with this. But you need to dive deep into that shadow work, because it's the shadow work that needs to be done to make the dreams like that to stop happening. But it's the fear that needs to be addressed. It's the fear that's causing you to have these kinds of dreams. And they're just going to keep happening. Remember earlier, we were talking about how the universe shows us what we need to heal on. It'll show us through people. It will show us through things. It will show us through energy. It will show us through dreams. But it will just keep presenting itself until you figure out what it is and how to heal from it. Okay. So message me after this and we'll talk a little bit about shadow work. But I think that you would be a really good candidate for one of my classes, the Self-Healing Spiritual Awakening class. We meet once a week, every single week, and we just dig really deep into this gunk is what I call it. We talk about the traumas in your life. And when I say trauma, I'm not saying like a big old, oh my God, I saw somebody killed in front of me kind of trauma. I am talking about those little traumas, like let's say, in 6th grade, you worked 6 months on an art project. You thought it was the best freaking art project you've ever done in your entire life. You were so freaking proud of it. You brought it to school, and then your art teacher takes one look at it and goes, you could have done better. That's a trauma, because now your chances of you doing art again are very slim. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is a trauma. This is a trauma that affects who you are and how you react to things and what you do in your life. And so when we go through your trauma, we go piece by piece by piece. It takes 4 months to go through everything. The first month is highly intensive, so you have to be ready for it. I only take clients that are ready. And the second month, we start working on the energy work. The third month, we start mastering some of your skills. The fourth month, we go into spiritual mastery completely. And so as you do all of this, you'll notice your dreams are getting happy. You'll notice your aura is clear. You'll notice that your stress and anxiety and depression just stop out of nowhere. You don't even know how to handle it because you're used to having it. And then on top of that, you'll notice your health improves. Okay. So I hope that answered your question.
Someone has a good question, actually. It says, I'm new to tarot cards. How did you get interested in them?
Okay, you go ahead and take that one.
So basically, ever since I was a little girl, my aunt, she would do, I think they're called medicine cards, basically Native American medicine cards.
Mhm.
And to me, that was tarot. And the more I think about it, what she would do is set out little crystal grids and set out the tarot cards. And I always thought that was so cool. I would always sneak in there and be like, that's so cool, and pick stuff up. She didn't like it, but I was sneaky about it. And I would always look at it. And then I would try to mess with it from time to time, not knowing what the heck I was doing because I was young, probably like 12, 14, around there. And then I let it go for a while. And then I started having that inkling feeling again to go back into tarot. But since I was so new, Kristen recommended probably oracle cards because it's a little bit easier to take in because you're just reading more emotions of the cards than trying to think of all the definitions and stuff.
Mhm.
And then after working with Kristen for quite a bit, I've worked my way up from oracle to tarot.
Mhm.
She actually gifted me a tarot deck, which is very pretty.
Mhm.
Not all tarot decks are built the same. Different themes, different layouts. It's just whatever you're drawn to. Like I was drawn to those medicine cards. I still am. I don't own them yet, but I still think they're pretty cool.
Mhm.
I have all kinds of oracle decks, more oracle than tarot, but I'm trying to get more tarot.
Mhm.
Kristen's really good on getting people started on that.
Thanks.
hmm It was actually you that got me into oracle in the beginning. I would have never done it.
Yeah, and you do so well at it now. Like when I saw some of your readings, especially early on, I mean, you were so excited about it. I remember like you were smiling so much. You were like, Kristen, I'm so drawn to these cards. And I actually saw a card deck at the Crystal Rock the other day. And I looked at it and I was like, I don't know why. I don't know why, but I feel like Jessica needs these freaking cards. Like, I don't know what it is about them. They're just, it feels like Jessica needs, like, her energy is on these cards. And so when I go back, like, this was supposed to be a surprise, but now I'm telling you.
Oh.
Because I'm really bad at surprises. Nobody can even surprise me because obviously I see it before it happens. But I have a card deck that I'm going to buy for you. And it's because like everything about it is Jessica.
See, that's the cool thing I was going to say about oracle is you can have like fairies, mermaids. Like I'm not going to do any readings tonight, but I'm just showing you like there's fairies.
Oh, I love those cards. Oh my God, I love
This is the one Kristen sent me. This is an actual tarot, my first tarot deck.
Yep.
Very pretty artwork. Like here's a mermaid deck I have. This is oracle.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm more drawn to artwork than I am like the theme of the card. So if it's got pretty artwork, I go for it. Another deck of oracle.
Go back to those ones. I want to see those ones again. Ooh, I love those.
Amazon's your best friend. That and eBay or local crystal shops. Like here's another fairy one. I found this, I think, at Borders.
Yeah, I love fairies.
This one's more of the medicine card kind of look that I like. That's why I was drawn to this one.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kristen, this is the one I was talking about, the first one that I was drawn to, because I'm drawn to fairy decks.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
It's a very playful deck. And then I'm going to show last one. I'll stop. This is the one I have not opened yet. Heaven and Earth Tarot.
Cool.
It's still sealed, as you can see.
Yeah, I like those.
And like I said, I'm drawn to artwork. That's what draws me into, because most crystal shops will not let you return them once you've opened them because your energy's already been.
I like to look at them. Like I want to feel them in my hands. I want to feel the energy of them. Because if I don't feel the energy of them, I don't know if I'm going to be called to them. Like the only thing that I've noticed works is if I, like, let's say if I see a deck on Amazon and I'm drawn to them, like the ones I have, I think they're the love card. I was very drawn to them and the energy of them, but I wasn't sure obviously which one they were going to give to me. And so then I just took like a few minutes and I meditated on it and I asked my spirit guides, okay, is this the deck that I'm supposed to use for my clients? Is this the deck that's going to benefit my clients the most? And I just kept getting yes, 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 yes.
And it'll keep coming up over and over again the more you try to push it away.
Yeah. And it was funny because then I was on Facebook and it would pop up and then I come on I go on to Safari, it would pop up. I go on to Instagram, it pop up. I was like, okay, already. I'll get the damn deck. And then I did, and my clients absolutely love that deck. It's just, yeah, I'll show you. Hold on.
Kristen.
We're playing show and tell today. I don't care.
I wish Sam was on here. She's got like 20 something decks she could be showing.
No, she's having such Wi-Fi issues today. So this is my love deck.
That's your angel deck, because somebody was saying I love angel cards. So that's a pretty deck to start with if you like angels.
Yep.
They're really glossy, shiny cards.
Yep. So I use these just specifically for love. I call them my love deck because they are just specifically for love. But I mean, they have never steered me wrong. Every single one of these cards is always spot on. You can kind of see some of the detail in them. I don't know. I hate this camera.
That's why I'm kind of like trying to show.
Like, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It's upside down. But yeah.
Somebody was, I was going to say, she was asking about shuffling. Actually, Brittany was, where is it on here? She says, it took me forever to learn how to shuffle. How about you ladies? Well, everyone has their own way of shuffling.
Mm-hmm.
Some people divide the deck. Some people just draw from the top. Some people shuffle. Kristen taught me how to do jumping cards. So like a card that jumps up the top, that's your card. Or if 3 cards fly out, those are your cards.
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of, there's no set right or wrong.
Yeah, and you have to do what you're drawn to do. Like sometimes when I'm doing the cards, I'm drawn to use sound to get rid of negative energy. Like I'll sit and I'll do this. And then other times I'm told to shuffle, you know, just kind of like this, allowing the cards to pick you, which is the jumping card. And so this one jumps out, right? And it says, it is safe for you to love. And so other times, you know, I feel drawn to literally act like it's a deck of cards and I will just shuffle like that, you know. And so it's kind of depending on what the energy is that I'm feeling from it. I mean, you have to use your intuition with this. This is something that your guides and your source energy will tell you how to do. There's no right or wrong way to do it.
I was going to say something I do, just like some people smudge their decks, some people put it on selenite. What I've done is I just kind of break up. I guess I visualize energy being like shooken off when I do this, it's just dissipating.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say also with shuffling too, like these are big cards. I struggle with doing what Kristen's doing, like the natural shuffle. So I have to do the whole, you know, method. As you see, you can kind of see it. And then if a card jumps up, then you take that card. Some people don't shuffle like that, and some I can't do it because my hands are small. Some people do it this way, and I can't because these cards are, as you see, they're very long,
Right.
very big cards, so it's hard to do that. I have small hands.
All right, so it's been over an hour. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna close this out for the night, and we'll be back Tuesday, I believe we decided on. And we'll answer your spiritual questions on Tuesday. And then I personally will be live for crystals and mini readings on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. every Wednesday night, no matter what. Make sure to follow Spiritual Life Coach Kristen Lynn, Intuitive Guide Jessica, sorry. And then Sammy P. Tarot. That was the other lady who is up here. Make sure to follow and then also go into the notifications. And if you click on the notifications, you can scroll down and it says see first. Facebook has a horrible algorithm where nobody can see it anymore. So the way to beat that, guys, the way to beat that, so you get your information, you get your readings, you get your crystals 100% of the time, is to go into your notification setting on that person's page and click the notification, scroll down to see first, click see first, and then it will let you guys know every single time that we're live. Okay.
And also, go ahead, Kristen. I just want to say something before we leave. Also, remember, Kristen and I are both running not discounts, but promotions tonight. Whoever books with me at the end of this live gets 20% off all of my services. And then, Kristen, do you want to remind them what your promotion was?
So my promotion is we are doing a really exciting spiritual boot camp. It starts next month. We're going to do it 2 times in the month, and it's going to be online. And we're going to learn all kinds of exciting new spiritual things in this boot camp: energy work, candle magic. And then I do also have a specific course just for candle magic that is happening April 24th at 5 p.m. So if you are interested in that, please go ahead and send me a quick message and I'll send you the link. Otherwise, I am doing the Spiritual Awakening Self-Healing classes. I'm starting that next week. So if you're interested in getting rid of some shadow work, digging deep, and you are committed to a change, go ahead and message me for that.
I've taken that course and it's highly recommended. It got me started on my path, and lots of other people started on their path.
Mm-hmm.
I totally recommend Kristen's class.
Yeah, it helps you a lot. It gets rid of the traumas. It gets rid of the things that are holding you back in life. I've had people go from depressed and sick laying in bed to now spiritual life coaches just like me. I have people that had chronic illnesses and chronic pain who are now out there owning their own businesses and making thousands and thousands of dollars. I have a ton of success stories. It's 4 months of your time. If you are committed to yourself, message me right away after this live and I'll give you a discount.
Because I wasn't even doing this when Kristen met me. I was just barely doing stuff, and she helped keep me pushed and motivated, and she believed in me, which really did help, having someone to turn to and not judge you, and you could feel safe.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You need that one person. Don't feel bad for needing somebody. You know, if you have somebody in your corner, it makes life a lot easier. If you are in a bad relationship, if you aren't getting what you need from your partner, you need somebody like a life coach to get you through it. And I am a spiritual life coach. You know, you just need somebody in your corner. It's like having your own personal cheerleader.
Kristen's good at that.
All right, guys. So we're going to wrap this up for tonight. We will be back Tuesday night at 9 p.m. And I will be back on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. just doing crystals and mini live readings. So make sure to follow and subscribe. If you're catching this on YouTube, subscribe to YouTube. And we are going to close this out for tonight. Any last words, Miss Jess?
It was really great to connect with everyone tonight and to do this. This is the first time we've done this, and we really like to reach out to help people that have questions like that.
Yeah.
So there is no silly questions ever.
Never any silly questions. I love teaching.
That's how you learn.
Yes. All right, everyone. So we're going to close this out for tonight. Remember to message us with any other questions.
You guys all have a good night.
All right. Catch y'all later. Bye.
Bye.